Listeners be advised. The Soliloquy podcast discuss matters related to the human experience and many that are sexual in nature. Due to this, some conversations may surround triggering topics such as sexual violence, self harm, abuse, and much more. Please be advised a list of crisis and psychological resources will be available in the show notes of this episode. With that said, let's get started with the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention please as we go through the following safety instructions.
In the event that there is a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen mask will drop from the overhead. Place the mask over your nose and mouth. Breathe normally as oxygen is flowing even if the mask is not exposed. Be sure to adjust your own mask before helping others.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Soliloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. This is your favorite host, Vernon T. Scott, also known as Slaytor Jackson, and for you freaky motherfuckers out there, Sebastian Adams. On today's episode, we are getting our vocals together. We are singing. Not really, but we are doing a love song dissection. And on the docket for today, we have different kind of love songs by Cher, Don't Forget About Us by Mariah Carey, and DFMU by LMA. So just to put those in order, because I have Devana with me, those first two were Devana's choices, and then the LMA song is Vernon's choice. And we're just going to go through each song, what they meant to us, and all these other great things. But before I get into that, Devana, how are you doing today?
Fan-fucking-tastic. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing great. Oh, child, yes, fan-fucking-tastic. That just means I need some dick. And a fan because it's hot. It is hot, Lord.
I'll take Lilo. Lilo works for me right now. Lilo is great because he comes with all the vibrations I need in my anal canal without the bullshit from XY chromosomes.
Yes, I understand. Look, when my Lilo, when I did my review for Bad Bible, they told me I had to go back and edit this, but I was like, I was mentioning how I love the Lilo because it had very soft vibrations versus the harder and rougher vibrations that other prostate massagers have. And I was, and the person I was, working with there, she's like, "What does that mean?" I'm like, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt whenever the toy is like inside of me. It just feels great. It's more of a massager. It gets to the point, it gets to the job done, and I don't have to worry about my insides feeling like they're being violated because of how hard the vibrations are. It's just a softer vibration. That's what I mean. But I enjoy the Lilo.
Sound like you ran through every damn prostate massager on the market, bitch. I love it.
Child, in the journey to find some things, like I only have two that I actually enjoy, and I actually have my toy bag with me because me packing up and shit, and this is typically where I record for all the podcasts. But is this which one's my Lilo bag? Okay, this is one of the prostate massages I actually kind of like. It's I got it from Amazon, I think.
He's about to give us a live demonstration.
A whole live demonstration. I'm supposed to be doing one of those for people, but I haven't gotten enough people to subscribe to the Patreon. It has to be 1,000 before I do it. So yeah, I got this little thingy here. It's all right. It's not the best. It was the one that I mostly used before I got my Lilo, but my Lilo bag is like right here. So yeah, this little baby here. Oh my God.
No, I need
Is this the one that you have?
Yes, that thing's rough. I think
Look.
it's tough. You must have an asshole made of steel because that thing never rearranging. It's off the Richter with me.
What? For real? What? I am shook.
And I can take a whole lot of dick. Like I've had up to 17 inches before, but that Lilo, it just vibrates like.
Child, I love that one. It feels so good. It feels so good. and we're completely off topic for what this is about. We're doing a love song dissection. Oh,
I need to fire that Mariah Carey song and replace it with a different Mariah Carey song.
oh my! Not that now I have to look into last minute changes. How dare you? What song we going on?
It's like that. It's gonna be from I think it's from the same damn. It's still Mariah, and it's from I think it's from the same album. It's just that other song is just with everything that has changed and happened. It's just her pining over some ex. I just can't fuck with it.
You know, that's the thing I liked about it. Like, well, we're kind of getting into it, but I put it up. It's like that. We're going to talk about it.
It's like that is more of a falling in love with yourself.
Mhm.
The- I
Like,
I got to be true to where I'm at today.
I get it. I get it. Like, I think at least with Don't Forget About Us, I agree. It is just her pining for a old love, which I get. It is a song of being stuck in heartbreak and assuming that you are the best person that this person ever had. And honestly, I'm of that point in my life that I hope the person that connects with my ex is better for them than I was, because I don't want my ex back. I don't want to go into that space again. Now, if there's some kind of development in the universe somehow puts us back into a space where we're both, you know, interacting with each other to move towards a new relationship, okay, cool. We spent so many years apart at this point that you're a completely different person. So I'm not still going to be engaging with that same motherfucker that we're I broke up with me at that one point. So then yeah, I get it, but I'm not going to be stuck every single night talking about, don't forget about the fact that I was the best thing that you ever had and all these other things. No, don't think about me, because I'm not going to be thinking about you.
Yeah, I wish to forget that all of my exes ever fucking existed.
Mm.
Uh, they could drop into the middle of a fucking abyss out in deep space fucking nine for all I give a damn. Like I just they're just nothing to me. You know how Sagittarius does. Either you mean every fucking thing to us, or we blink and it's like who? Who? Oh, I don't know her.
Right. Look,
So that's where I'm at with all of mine. Just I go away, disappear, disasterate, into dust you go.
look, sometimes wish that I can control the way my mind completely wipes people out of my memory without me knowing. Like, whenever I have like mediocre or unpleasing sexual experiences, like I had received absolutely no pleasure from that person, give me 2 days, I forget exactly who that person was. Like, it's not intentional. It's not me saying, oh, I don't want to fuck with you anymore and all these other things. No, they just literally disappear out of my brain. Like, somebody hit me up once, like within the last 6 months or so. It's like, oh yeah, we hooked up. Like, I enjoyed it. Blah 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 blah. We talked about these things, and I'm like, it's giving you talking about somebody else. And turns out we actually did hook up before, and I was like, well, glad that I didn't go back that route with you, because clearly it wasn't something worth remembering. Sucks for you.
Mhm.
But
Mhm.
anyways,
It's
so
sad but touching. It's sad but touching.
right. So these love songs. Just a PSA, I love doing love song dissections because after the episode, and I get a vibe and feel for the episode and the conversation that we have, I literally go out and create a instrumental playlist, to put as like the background music for the episode, so that once, kind of like how I had Hovember episodes, there's the little soundtrack playing in the background. I do that for every single love song dissection individually. So there's a playlist that's specific towards that episode, versus like the Hovember soundtrack is only going to be the soundtrack used in every single episode throughout Hovember. I cannot wait to do the one for this one. It's going to be so great. But anyways, let's start off with your first choice, which is Different Kind of Love song by Cher. What did you like about it?
Well, the primary thing is that it's different. And I'm all for a unique angle and a unique motherfucking perspective with everything that's going on with me in this day and motherfucking time. And really, this world needs different. The same old love won't do. People have tried that. One person to the next, one person to the next don't cut it. Sometimes you have to slow down and do what this song here is saying. We need a different kind of love song. This one here is dedicated to everyone. This song here speaks to loving the community
Oh,
and
yes.
yourself as a part of it. People go off the rails, Vernon, when they go lead into things and they don't lead in with love and they don't lead in with the community in mind. Okay, that's how COVID spiraled out of control. People were not community minded. That's how HIV spiraled out of control. People were not community minded, you know. But when you put love first and you give a damn about other people, we get further along. So this is a different kind of love song dedicated to you, me, everyone.
Yeah, that's the thing I loved about it too. Like you said, with it's focusing on community. And I like, yeah, I love all the romantic love songs about finding your partner and engaging with them, learning about them, all the, the tropes and stuff. But I love that this song is talking about universal love, understanding that I'm a part of you, you are a part of me, we're a part of each other, and we're here to grow, we're here to love on each other, we're here to be a community. Like there's different ways that you can have love. This love song is, like you said, like in what Cher says, it is for everybody. This is building that relationship that we all have amongst each other, to just say, hey, I love my neighbor, I love you, this stranger, I love all of you. This song is for all of you. Let's not continue to push each other apart and just focus on the things that we have in common, which is the love that we can have for each other. We all experience love on some level. So let's make that a reality. Let's make that a thing. Let's build on that.
Preach, preach, preach it. One of my standout lines is when she says, what if the world calmed down and we all could breathe together easily, connecting the sky and the ground with you and everything in between? That passage speaks to 100% connectivity. But the first thing that has to happen is people have to calm the fuck down. There's too much anxiety, stress, worry, strain. There's too much activity. People are too busy, too slowed down to connect with themselves. Be they too busy making money, too busy raising children, too busy trying to go sleep with somebody, too busy being a serial dater. All of that is activity that allows people that puts people in a position where they're hiding from themselves. And so if we can ever calm the fuck down, Blaise Pascal said all the world's problems stem from humans' inability to sit still alone quietly in a room.
That's a deep message right there. But I agree.
Period. When's the last time y'all sat down, just took a whole weekend, a Friday to a Monday, to not go out, to not find someone to bone, to just stay at your fucking house, or just to go meditate some damn where, just take a whole weekend just to do you and not feel like you so damn lonely or disadvantaged. If you can't spend 48 to 72 hours by your fucking self or a whole week without feeling miserable, you need to check on your self-love, motherfucker.
Oh, child. Oh, that touched the spot right there. Because, oh yes, I agree with you, because if you really cannot, like you said, spend that time alone with yourself, do you truly love yourself? And you need to reflect on that. Why is it that you need to be around other people only for you to feel validation, only to feel love? And you cannot do that when you are alone by yourself. Like, yes, as human beings and as communal animals, we do require validation from outside sources. But why is it that you cannot do that alone? Like, I think about the animal kingdom all the time. When young animals, let's talk about like the pumas. when a puma, most definitely young male, is released out to the wild, the mother's just like this, you know how to hunt now, you know the things, bitch, do this yourself. It takes them having the confidence in themselves to recognize that I have to do this regardless. I have to step into that because I have to fend for myself. I have to love on myself. I have to do all the things in order to thrive out here. I have to even like I remember seeing on a recent was it Planet Earth episode? Oh, I forget. You know David Attenborough. He's in everything, so his voice is very like it's there. But talking about how a young puma male can easily be murdered or killed by an adult male, and sometimes they have to lower themselves just so that they can eat the food because they know that, hey, I still have more training that I need to do. I still have a lot more skills that I have to build, but in this moment, I need food. So I need to do what I need to do by recognizing, hey, you got the power here. You also got this food. Can I get some of that? Like, it's not that I love myself any less. I'm just making sure I'm recognizing that you are someone who can provide something that I need. And I think we don't see that in our relationships either. Like we don't see that, oh, sometimes when I am hungry, I can lean on a certain friend, a family member to let them know, hey, this is what's going on with me. Is there anything that you can do to help out? And we'll rather hate ourselves a little bit by preventing other people from coming in to improve our circumstances, or we may distance ourselves from ourselves as well as our communities because we are afraid of what those things are going to do for us by showing that I care or okay, I forgot my train of thought on that. Disregard everything I just said.
I'm not going to disregard it. I'm going to latch on to it. I released 2 episodes on my podcast, the Sex, Drugs, and Jesus podcast, yesterday, and I was reading Community for Filth. So I read Mothers for Filth, and I read Friends for Filth. Down. I even took my opera glasses out. Okay, in order to in order to solidify my fucking fierce fucking ire against them. There is community that we can reach out to when we are ready.
Mm-hmm.
When I got HIV, I didn't do that. I didn't ask for help. I caved into myself because I thought I was going to die. But then there's the aspect of it. And what I was trying to reconcile and struggle with was like, how much of this is on the community, to reach out to people. So like, if you're going to be somebody's friend, it can't be fair weather. You have to challenge your friend. That's true love.
Mm.
Not being like fair weather. So when you said the word community, it stood out to me. Proverbs chapter 29 and verse 15 says that a child left to himself will disgrace his mother. Okay.
Mm.
And I latched on to that because I got pissed about everything I went through with the ex bitch, and my rage extended beyond him and to every damn body that helped create that fucking monster.
Mm.
So then I was like, what part of this is community? People get into these slow slums where they need community, but did anybody see them falling off that cliff and fail to say or do anything?
Mm.
So is there anything that could have been done before they got that bad? My advisor kept telling me to stop being a hoe, and I didn't. So that's why I got hepatitis B and B. So, that's all on me. But when people have these growing problems, like with the ex and shit, he used to lie and tell his family he was going to Walmart when he was really going to go have sex with people. That's a choice that he made, but they never stopped to put 2 and 2 together and say, okay, he said he was going to Walmart. He's been gone an hour. He came back with a fucking toothbrush. But they live in a country ass town where Walmart's like across the fucking street, so that don't, turning a blind eye to incongruencies a lot of times is how society ends up in a situation where community is, but the shit could have been stopped long ago. So I'm saying let stop being, if you're gonna bother to be someone's friend, lover, parent, or whatever, pay attention to what's fucking going on with them. Because if they're starting to spiral, they're not going to come to you and be like, hey, I'm starting to develop a bad habit and I need help. It's not going to be, it's not, it's not,
That would be great.
that would be all too easy. But it's not going to be until a goddamn thing has become a gargantuan fucking problem. Then here you come flying in to save the day, bitch. But you knew it was bullshit back then.
Mm. That's about that coddling certain behaviors. Like, yeah, you can have the conversations with people and talk about, hey, this is not okay. Like, let's see how we can, like, where are you going? Like, is there something that you feel unsafe to talk to me about? Like, where were you this entire hour? What's going on? Like, let's talk about these things. This is a safe space that I'm creating for you so we can have these conversations. I'm not going to attack you in any way. I just want to know what the fuck is going on with you. But like once it becomes a pattern for somebody, once it becomes cyclical behavior, it's hard to get out of that cycle. It's hard to get out of that because it's a part of my identity at this point. Like all the things that like, yeah, hindsight is 2020. But at the same time, you had suspicions before it got to the point where you had to utilize hindsight. So there's multiple times where people could step in. And I get that's somewhat of the message behind this song as well, is that we have to recognize each other as we develop throughout this life. Like the thing that I found most interesting about this song was the other verse where Cher was like, what if the world was crazy and I was sane? Would it be so strange? I can't believe that I am alone in saying the things I'm saying. I am a part of you. These are universal truths. We're all part of the light that flows through everything. Like to me, that means like sometimes I am feeling out alone, but I also recognize that we are all going through these same things, but why am I the only one that's mentioning it when we all are experiencing these things, right? Like we are all a part of each other. We're all experiencing life in this similar way, yet I'm the only one that sees this in a way that I don't want to say different or strange, but I'm the only one that is vocalizing. It's like whenever you're with your family and your family recognize that, oh, we might need to go to therapy, and you start to talk about, hey, we should go to therapy, but now you're the one that's the outsider because you're actually pointing out the thing that everybody recognizes, right? But at the end of the day, we all feel this, we all understand this, but I'm the one that's different. But are we not the same?
Thank God for chosen family. We look, fire your families and friends. Anybody who's not on the same level with you, fuck them. Fuck them. We're not negotiating with no bullshit. But and of course go get you some grief counseling because you must process the loss of friends and family, but the bitches must be cut off. There can be no other way. So what Cher is talking about in the passage that you have selected, Dr. Scott, is perspective. Okay, there's a couple of things at play. She's a singer-songwriter. We're podcast hosts and authors. It is our task to say the shit other people won't say. It's our task and calling to preach the unpopular opinion and to challenge people and to provoke them to positive action and change. And so to a degree, us creatives, us intuitive and highly inspired people are going to often find ourselves as the outcast because that's where we thrive. Okay. In terms of relating to other people who feel lonely and the black sheep in the family, I encourage you all to do this. That energy that makes you feel isolated and alone, use it, look at it as a beautiful thing. Everybody, which pigeon is the pretty one, the white one? Who wants to be a basic ass black and gray speckled pigeon? They everywhere. But in order to be the lead singer of the group, the white pigeon, the white crocodile, that anomaly, you have to be alone sometimes. So do you want to be special or do you want to be a basic bitch?
Mm.
You know, everybody be acting like they want to be special, but there's a lot of solitude that comes with being the best bitch. Ain't nothing but room for one the damn top.
Oh, child, I feel attacked. I don't know why.
so, so, so what I'm encouraging you all to do is to be like an alchemist, like the magician card in the tarot. And when you're presented with something that's a negative emotion, and it might be, acknowledge that, but see what you can turn it into to your advantage.
Yeah.
In spiritual circles, there's this thing called purposeful silence, purposeful isolation. That's when you intentionally get alone. Like I was saying, spend the whole weekend by yourself, spend time by yourself. So you're the only one setting that. And then that's quiet times, new inspiration will come to you that will take you higher in life than if you spend so much of your time hanging around other people. Some shit only don't come to you in isolation.
Oh, most definitely. If you're a person who out here trying to find your purpose, you cannot find your purpose around other people. It's too much influence. It's too much saying. There's too much, I need you to be in this direction, that direction, all those other things. You have to isolate yourself to understand what your purpose is. And I'm just saying that from experience as well as what I know. Removing yourself from other people and accepting that and appreciating that helps you find what makes you happy. It helps you find self-love. It also helps you with figuring out what you want to do with the time that you have in this world. And it's needed. You need that alone time. So anything else you would like to add on different kind of love song before we go over to It's Like That?
Nope.
So I just recognized what song this is. So I was like, I don't know if I know It's Like That. I don't know. And then I started looking at the lyrics and I was like, that. Oh, is that song? So I'm here now. I still have to like get myself back into like what this song actually says because I totally forgot. It's been so long. Been so long. We're not having Anita Baker today. Anita, step away from me right now. We're not doing that. We'll do that later. Sorry, y'all. But what made you? I know that you brought it up a little bit earlier about it's a lot more of a positive song and it's matching where you are right now in your life. So what makes this song super important to you?
This song talks about self-love. Our previous song was about community love. This song here is about a bitch breaking free from some bullshit.
The Holiloquy podcast focuses on the variability of sexual expression. When it comes to sexual expression, we often depend on pornography to illustrate how one must perform sexually. For those who have not learned this by now, the stuff you see in porn is not real. Pornography provides a singular perspective of sexual expression that is not often the reality we see during our own sexual encounters. The Holiloquy podcast is a conversation that takes you outside of the compressed box of what many know about sex. Some of the topics we discuss includes kinks, condom usage, status disclosure, and past sexual experiences. The Holiloquy podcast steps out on sexual norms and recognizes that the norm is not the only normal. Subscribe today and join the conversation.
This song talks about self-love. Our previous song was about community love. This song here is about a bitch breaking free from some bullshit. See, whatever it sounds like, it's a form of relationship. What she's talking about, no stress, no fights. I'm leaving it all behind. No tears, no time to cry, just make the most of life. Because she said, because it's her night. This is Mariah. This is the great MC, y'all, making a conscious decision to fucking be happy. So no matter what the hell was making her cry, the bitch is saying, no, this is just Bacardi tonight. It's a Bacardi night. We not crying tonight. And and she's making a conscious decision on what her mood is going to be. She's not letting life happen to her. She's turned whatever her negative, she was that alchemist, she was that magician, and she's turning her negative circumstance into self-love. This is a song all about self-care, doing what the fuck is gonna give her life, and fuck whoever made her cry in the first damn place.
Yes. I've had this conversation with people in the past, and I told them sometimes self-care looks toxic to other people. Like your choice in how you decide to do your self-care. Like for some people, they'll see something like this or even look at the actions and they're just like, well, she had a breakup and now she's going out to party and, drink it off. Some people do that. Some people do engage in that activity and it is from a place of hurt. This, on the other hand, if you look at the lyrics real deep, and it's just like no stress, no fights. I'm leaving it all. Bitch, I've dealt with my emotions. I felt all those things. I'm out this motherfucker, and I'm about to celebrate. That's a completely different thing. People who don't understand that she did the work that she needed to do, and now she's celebrating herself for doing that. Oh, that's a completely different vibe. That's just enjoying life and taking that moment to just engage in the fun of things, because I have my intentions of how I want to spend my motherfucking night. And guess what? None of it is dealing with you. You might be looking at my stories and just like, oh, I can tell she's hurt. I can tell that she's thinking about me. I can tell that she's out here partying so she can get over me. No, bitch, I got over you before I put on this damn dress and these pumps. I'm just enjoying life. And I love that. I love it.
And it's such a beautiful concept, and unfortunately a lot of people in this world have not tapped into this.
I agree.
It's such a simple thing, paying attention to oneself, but in order for somebody to show themselves self-love, they have got to know themselves. They have to be sure the tape that's playing in their head is a tape of their own choosing. Thinking that your happiness is going to come from what other people prescribe to you is only going to leave you wanting. And so, like a certain person from my past thought, for instance, to be in his 20s meant that he should be promiscuous. And I used to ask him, where did you get this idea from? He could not respond. So you have social media, movies, you're being mind fucked and placed into a state of hypersuggestibility. You're accepting a lot of tapes from social media influencers, family, people who are close to you, and you don't realize that you're actually living somebody else's life. And that is why you're incongruent and never fucking happy, because you never really sat down to analyze what the fuck actually makes me happy, just me alone with no one else around, my decisions. Why does this make me happy? Is it true? Did I get this from someone else? It's a lot of work. And most people just want to kind of keep going on the fucking hamster wheel. And I'm like, the hamster is just the most mindless thing, just running around in circles and yet never getting anywhere.
Yes. And I have to piggyback off of that whole phase thing. Like, this is coming from probably the biggest hoe on the Eastern Seaboard, I guess. But like, for any person, like, no, everybody does not need to have a hoe phase. Hoe phase is only something that you feel the need to embark in only if you've been healed, only if you know that the actions that you're participating in within your whole phase is not something that's operating out of hurt. And you have to isolate that understanding of yourself, like, hey, am I doing this, behaving in this way out of a response to trauma, as a way to get over something? Like that messaging that is so popular, you have to get under somebody to get over someone. Like, no, deal with your damn hurt, deal with your feelings and your emotions of like that resulted from, like ending and getting out of that relationship that you were in. You don't have to get under somebody immediately. No, only thing you need to get under on is yourself and reflect on how you've been feeling, how that relationship is impacting you, and then move forward in that nature. So yeah,
I need people to recognize that just because somebody's singing a fucking song don't mean they know what the fuck they're talking about. Ooh. That bitch sang that song to collect her coin. Now, when you're talking about Mariah Carey, like the bitch I chose, that's completely different because she writes pretty much all of her own fucking music. You know, so where she's coming from is a completely different angle than your typical trendy ass bitch who was cute enough with cute enough titties and dimples and a good enough voice for them to stick on stage and make fucking money. Mariah Carey is a diva. She's a songwriter from the soul. She is not just a performer. So what she's talking about is real fucking life and real fucking shit. And that's why Mariah Carey's lyrics help you and enhance you. Her shit are high vibrations. Whoever said that bullshit about getting under someone, that's low vibration. Basic bitch from the tarot, that's that devil card energy bullshit. No. If you take your basic ass out there and start sleeping with people and you're doing it to hide your emotions, to try to rebound and shit like that, you ain't doing nothing but sowing terrible fucking devastating karma for yourself, because now you fucking with other people. Playing with their heart and shit like that, knowing you ain't really fucking ready. And God help y'all if you do this dumb shit where you have one person who just broke up go and tell somebody they just broke up and they're not really available and they agree to just have a basic surface ass level sort of relationship or engagement. Who in the fuck says I'm going to go and do something, but I know I can't really get everything I want, so I'll just settle with what the hell I can have? Do you understand how much you're like hurting yourself and training yourself that you'll never be able to have everything you want in life when you settle for half of what you want or less than what you want? Why take somebody out of a relationship who's damaged, send their asses back to their house and tell them not to call you no more till they address their issues? And don't you settle for somebody who's doing that, because what they're saying is that they're still carrying energy, you know, and pain and anxiety from a fucked up situation. Why would you want to lay up in bed with that? There's an energy transfer that happens. So no, you don't do that. But look, and people do this shit, rebound sex. They'll take somebody out of a relationship saying some shit like, I can't be emotionally available, but we can have sex. You don't have the right to do that. You did not create sex. God created sex, and it is a physical, mental, emotional, metaphysical thing, and you cannot fuck it up, rig it down, and make it some Diet Coke fucking version to suit you. All of those other dynamics are still at play, you stupid bitch. But what you're doing is fucking up your fucking mind and soul and shit, and you don't even know it.
That's a word. Like, I think about, like, I've had conversations in the past where I've learned that someone that I'm interested in, and they mention how they might not be over somebody, and I let them know completely upfront, hey, we can't start anything until you close that door. Like, either that door is something that's going to be maintaining its openness, meaning that you won't need to explore more in that, and you owe that to yourself to explore that, or you need to close that door and you owe that to yourself to close that door. You need to figure that out before moving forward into anything that we can have together. I've even had to have that conversation with some friends in their relationships and what they're going through. And I'm like, look, you have to move past those things if you want to start something that's healthy and that's beneficial to you, because this other person, they're not necessarily consenting to being someone, like, being on hold. They're not looking to be like in these spaces of like, okay, so what are we? Because that's going to be a question that comes up eventually. I need to understand what's going on here. Like, look, we've been engaging in this non-emotional connection building, and you're actually having these conversations, expressing your feelings or whatever the case is about how, well, you know, like, whatever the hell is going on in your life, or even put me in the space where I'm performing boyfriend and husbandly duties and I don't even know what the fuck this relationship is. Hold up, back up. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We are leaving that in, oh, damn, this is going to be coming out in 2024. So we left this in 2023. And if you're just hearing this message and it speaks to your heart, step into it, move into it. And you need to accept that right now today, because we left it behind. You were being a little bit basic. It's time for you to level up. Let it go.
You can leave all that behind and get the fuck away from me if you're out there and willing to live a fake ass life. I have taken the gloves off, Vernon. I don't mince words with people. Y'all need to stop fucking with people's hearts, you know, and playing with them and stringing them along. What part of a human cannot make you happy do you basic bitches not fucking understand? So your old relationship didn't make you happy. That's why your ass single now. Okay. The answer is not in another damn human, be it with sex or relationship. You're not going to fucking find peace and happiness until you learn to set on your ass by your fucking self.
Mm,
Period.
mm. I agree. I agree 100%. Like you're the only thing that can make yourself happy at this point. Like it's great to have those other
Yeah.
people for like, to enjoy the ride with, but come on, self happiness is what you really need. And having self-awareness is also what you need. It moves you a step closer to godliness.
You better act like God is real, because people be out here fucking over people, acting like that karma's not gonna come back to them. It
Mm,
will. You're not gonna be able to go out here and be a hoe and sleep around and just fuck over people's bodies and just play with God's children, lie to them, don't tell them the truth of your availability and pretend. I've had people do that to me before. We're having sex. I'm thinking we might get together. Come to find out, they still got a boyfriend somewhere, or an ex they not quite over. This
mhm.
dude had the dude in my fucking house, in my apartment back in Houston. Just shady ass shit like that. That's unnecessary. You could have been somewhere praying, meditating, walking through nature, connecting with nature. Everything is a choice. You
Mhm.
have the whole multiverse universe at your fucking disposal. You can say, think, do anything you want. Why in the hell is so much of y'all goddamn attention into sleeping with people in relationships? Do you know how
Mhm.
much more there is to do?
Oh God, so much, so much in this life. Like I swear, if I did not have all the things that I'm doing in life right now, I will be learning so many different new trades. I'll be learning 3D modeling. I'll be learning how to like do clay sculptures, probably even dabble in the resin stuff at some point in my life. Like all these beautiful things. Like sex is not the thing that like people, there's so many things that you can do out here in this life that does not resolve around sex. Now, I will say, for those any people who want to be messy, understand karma control too. Sometimes you have to make sure that if you're going to be messy and shit, that you leave the situation better than you started it. Okay, if that means you knowing that you're doing something that you should not be doing, you better do a little bit of a step to improve their situation or some shit, because that karma gonna come and get you regardless. But at least if you do something beneficial in the process, karma might be like, okay, I just ruined this one relationship. That's all. It's not going to be a horrible like experience. It's just going to be like, oh, you fall apart. Okay, cool. Now deal with that.
Karma is not ours to control, because as the
That is
scripture
true.
tells us, that God is not mocked, but so over a man sow, that also will he reap. And God repays every last one of us according to our work. But it also says that God judges the hearts and the reins. So when the Lord dishes out your karma, he is going to take the totality of who you are that you don't show people into consideration, your secret thoughts, the way you hate people when you go sleep with them, the way you give them diseases and shit, be it mental, physical,
Mm,
emotional, whatever. The true truth of it, the way you took people to play with, the way you kind of laughed at them when you held truth from them and shit like that, whoever you are. So your karma is not yours to control. That shit's gonna come back to you the
fair.
way the spirit wants to come back to you, bitch. So the only thing you can do is grow the fuck up, learn God, get over this obsession you have with fucking people, which is perpetuated in society. Reality shows, social media, you know, overuse of social media, all this just trains people to focus their mind on people
Hmm.
rather than themselves and rather than Jesus. Rebound, last thing I'm gonna say, rebound sex is dumb. It is usually done
Facts.
quick. It's usually done quick and very indiscriminately and very brashly. It's nothing thoughtful, prayerful, or meditative about it. And having sex with people, that first of all, you're open and vulnerable. Whatever energy that person's working with, it is now yours. When we go do spiritual plant medicines, peyote, ayahuasca, whatever, we're not allowed to have sex with people a certain amount of time before the ceremony, because we would still be carrying that other person's energy with us. So you people need to understand, you might go on Grinder or Tinder or wherever and find someone to go bone. Okay. And you might be over there for 5 minutes or an hour, or spend the night. When you leave, that person's still with you. In your head, you might have cut them off with, bitch. That's so, you cannot change the way things work in the spirit. Okay. So rebounding after you already hurt and vulnerable, now you go and sleeping with people who you don't even know their last name or their real name or what kind of life they are. If they're a witch, a warlock, practicing all kinds of whatever magic, you don't know. Could be a serial killer, and people do go missing from off of these apps still to this day.
Mhm.
Okay, it ain't worth it, bitch.
And that's that on that. Well, before I go into LMA, do you have any last words that you want to share about is like that? Because clearly it's like that,
I'm
y'all.
about to say, it's like that. It's like that.
The man has said what he needed to say, and I'm here for it. Well, my song is DFMU, Don't Fuck Me Up by LMA. And this song, it just, the first time I heard it, it really did just sit on my spirit for a little while. And I know that it wasn't that I was like in a relationship or anything like that or moving towards one. It just reminded me of situations where I was uncomfortable with like moving forward with somebody or putting that trust in them because I had a little bit of fear in me that this person is not going to like their behavior in itself is too real to be true. That I believe that their intentions with in engaging with me is not something that's honest, and I really do listen to my intuition for a lot of situations. But I have to. I learned to have. I have to like understand, is this intuition that's speaking or is this fear speaking? And whenever I listen to this song, it gives me that fear component of I feel like there's a hold up, here we go. Let me just start off with the beginning. She says, like a glimpse from the past, you conceal the dark. In the frame, you're the poster upon the wall. In my dreams, you the prince, and I'm at the ball. Fairy tales, I'm not used to them at all. Like, whenever I hear about those fairy tale love meetings and all those other things, I'm like, okay, fairy tales are great, they're cute. Even Anita Baker tells you fairy tales, they fade away. So that's my mindset. Is all of this in reality? Or is this all you making a fantasy about what can be the dream relationship, what can be what I'm looking for? Or is this truly you? So that's what I get every time I listen to this song. It's a reminder of being in those spaces of how truthful are you to yourself as well as how truthful are you to me, because I don't want to engage in this situation just for you to end up on the other end fucking me over.
I feel like she's balanced.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she's present in the moment, weighing the risk and the consequences, but most of all, she's not letting fear prevail over her.
Mm-hmm.
And this song is not about getting dick down or pussy poking. This is about actual emotional intimacy, the
Mm-hmm.
risk that so many people are not willing to take. It's just shameful how many people will get naked in a heartbeat or send naughty pictures of themselves, but reserve the very best parts of them, which is their heart and soul.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, tearing themselves in two different directions because we weren't meant to be used that way or to prostitute ourselves out like that. But what this bitch here is talking about, she done been hurt, she done been through it. The bitch is brave. She's
Mm-hmm.
willing to dream. She's willing to try. She's not carrying no old shit with her. She stated her motherfucking requirements in the chorus. Don't fuck me up. Don't let me down. I get some black girl power up in that because if it happens, then she gonna have to bust the windows out his car. So he done been warned. The warning is in the title. Don't fuck me up, otherwise I'm gonna have to do what I gotta do.
Mm, mm. Like I would say that's part of the reason why I love Ella May so much, because her lyrics are so real. Like you were talking about with the Mariah Carey, she is a lyricist, she is a writer, she experiencing these things, she's putting her heart out there for people to like engage in, and that's what I get every time I think of Ella May and the songs that she performs, that they are actually going off of real life experiences and not just like the fantasy of things. Like we have to be real in this moment. Like I need you to confirm that the feelings that I'm feeling are real for me as well as it's real for you, because I'm falling deep for you. I'm falling in love with you, and I need to know if you feel the same. Because I don't want, like, I love that in, I think this is the last chorus, but she mentions, um, where is it? If you really care for me, just make sure you're there for me. Feel I'm falling, feel like I'm falling in too deep. That's okay. Just rescue me. Meaning, I'm falling deeply in love with you. And when you confirm that you are also falling in love with me, that's the thing that rescues me, because I don't want to fall in a deep hole and there's nothing there to confirm that is reciprocal. Because, like, to me, I see that as saying I don't want to be in a one-sided relationship. I don't want to be in a space where I'm into you and I'm putting this energy into you, yet that's not going to be returned. That's what I got from it.
You sure enough right. This is a cute song, but people, I'm gonna tell you this. It shouldn't take this much effort for you to understand where your significant other or others are coming from.
Mm.
So this song it's inspiring us, and that's what it's supposed to do. But in your relationships, people need to be there on deck with the motherfucking clarity.
Mm.
Be chasing people down for an understanding. So in real life, you should know how the motherfucker feel. Period. At all times. If they're willing to do this, not willing to do that. If there's any point where you are confused about how somebody feels about you or what they're wanting, bye, bitch. We're not doing it. There's billions of people in this world. We're not tolerating no bullshit.
Mm. Mm. That's my go-to. There's a billion people in this damn world. But for real, like, it's a horrible place to be in if you actually have to question someone that you find, like, you make, like, that you're falling in love with, and having to ask them exactly where do you stand in their life. Like, am I a priority? Am I someone, like, are we moving in the same direction here? And I get that it is crucial to have these conversations, because you need to ensure that you are on the same page with the person that you're engaging with. But sometimes you shouldn't have to ask. It should have already been shown to you, in behavior as well as in words. Like, why is it that people often do? I know I've been had this conversation in the past. Like, why do we have to get to a point where we're discussing exactly how we see each other and what the direction is supposed to be? And I'm a firm believer of having these conversations early on. Like, what are your intentions with me? Like, where do you see this thing going between us? That way, I'm sure I'm not going to be wasting emotions, that I'm not going to be wasting my time on someone who's not going to reciprocate those things. So, yeah.
And that's at any point in the relationship, I believe. I mean, what you're saying is absolutely right, Doc Scott. But I need people to know relationships are always something that can be reevaluated, because people are subject to change.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you want to go into it with it, I'm gonna be with them forever, shit, you can. I take an approach of I'll be with them as long as it makes sense. And if it happens to be until we die, great. If it happens to be till this time next year, great. You know, that way I don't have too much of myself projecting into a future that I only have one half control over. Because when you're in a relationship, it's not just what you want, it's also what they want.
Mm-hmm.
And so if their communication is great year 1 through 5, but the shit starts fucking up year 6, okay, we may need to So this song is perpetual at the beginning of the relationship, at the middle, at any point. Don't fuck me up, because you fall in love with people over again. You can get deeper in love, you know, as time goes on. And so like when she says, what you think when my heart's sitting in your hand, you know, that's the whole time. If you've been with somebody 10 years, their heart is still in your hand. This respect, what she's demanding here, is perpetual. This ain't just new love.
Mm-hmm.
And too many people get into this trap of taking people for granted and getting used to them. and forgetting to do the cute datey shit and making that love stay fresh and new. So this song is good yesterday, today, and forever.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and that's why I love this song so much. It's that reminder. Like, I'm a firm believer when it comes to a person that I see myself being with long term, that we choose each other every single day. And I know there may be a day where we just come to the point where we're no longer choosing each other, and that is okay. And that is fine. And we have those conversations when we get to that point. But I want at least to experience those moments where I wake up knowing that I chose this person to be next to me, and they have chosen me too. And we recognize that our relationship is based on choice, not because we have to have each other, that we need each other to be present. It's just that we're choosing each other on a consistent on daily basis. Every single year we're back at this moment where we're committing to each other. Every single time we go out on a date, we're choosing to commit to each other, that we're choosing to choose each other to be engaged in this lived experience of being happy with each other, not due to each other. Because like I love it that the message of this song is just, at the end of the day, I don't want you to screw up anything that I have. I don't want you to leave me in a space where I'm hurting myself, or I hate the person that I become because you fucked me up. And on top of that, I don't want you to let me down. And a part of not letting me down is showing up. A part of that is being present for these conversations, being there to at least meet me where what I expect from you and what you expect from me, because that's all. You can only let somebody down when they have expectations for you. You can only disappoint another person and when they have expectations. If you have absolutely no expectations for anything, there's no disappointment. There's no way that you can be let down. But this unknowingly lets the other person know that I have these set expectations for you, and I don't want you to let me down. And you know what those things are.
You're right. You're right. You can't give away what you don't have, and you can't take away from something where there ain't nothing.
Mm,
And I'm gonna tell you, for all you like assholes who may be listening out there who take people for granted, and you know who you are,
mm,
it's gonna be a bitter day for you, where the person who you let down, who once expected good things from you and hoping you were going to become that emperor, that king, and rise to the plate, and you was too busy playing childish ass games when they stop expecting anything from you at all and don't want nothing from you and forget you exist.
mm.
Because that's the other side of this coin in this story. Should he fuck up, then she just gonna do her Sagittarius blink, and she gonna be like, I don't know her.
Mm. That's a gift that I got from my mom and didn't even know it. And I learned that from my dad. He told me, I know my uncle, he told me that sometimes with my mom, if somebody screws her over, it's not that they're dead to her. It's just that she deals with it. She understands and she keeps on moving. It's like, fuck you, and keep it going. And it's not like, I don't, like, for myself, I can do that very easily. Do I want to do that? Do I want to detach easily? Not necessarily. If I do it, it's because of reasons. It's because we got to a point where, what's the purpose of me holding on to these feelings? What's the purpose of me holding on to a relationship that's not serving me? What's the purpose of, like, going through these cycles of things that's not going to improve either one of our health, our circumstances, or anything of that nature? What's the purpose of doing that? I'd rather just let it go and continue on my life and be happy. It's just, yeah.
You go further than I will. Well, you're talking about intimate relationships, child. I've started cutting off friends. It don't matter. We don't come to a point. The point is the moment they disrespect me.
Mm.
I don't care if it's one fucking word or one sentence. Bye. I don't care how long I've known them. I cut off a 20-year friend the other day because he decided to get physically violent and like some text he was sending, I didn't respond because all it is this the devil, this devil energy, this negativity trying to pull on my light.
Mhm.
Everything is energy. I just said, okay, block.
Mm.
There's nothing to argue with, because if you're dealing with somebody who's willing to cater to negativity, you're not going to change the fact that they're open to being a portal to the devil. So the only thing that you can do is leave them. You can't change them. They might hide their darkness temporarily to keep you around, but if they were willing to be dark and attack you or say something that made you feel unhappy or sad, that shit is still in them.
Mm.
So just leave. Once they rear their ugly little head, their true head, just leave.
Yeah, I get that. Well, I'm a firm believer in protecting my peace. And it's like I surround myself with people who feed positively and accountability as well within to me, and ensures that there's love in everything that we do for each other. And if that's not you, I'm sorry. It's just the reality of it. I just cannot continue on those routes anymore. It's not that I'm too old or too much of an adult or anything like that. It's just I'm choosing what I want to have help me grow in this life, because that's the choice that we have. This reality is all about choice, and I'm choosing to surround myself with people who can hold me accountable, ensure that we love on each other and we grow together. That's it.
Y'all better stop dancing with the devil.
Mm.
Negotiating with people who disrespect you. You'll have no one to blame but yourself if you sit there and let these people tear you down.
Mm. On that note, do you have any last words that you would like to share as it relates to DFMU?
I fucks with it. I'm happy that she wrote this song, stating clearly that she's not to be played with. This should be everybody's theme. Don't fuck me up.
Exactly.
Period.
Child, and I know I'm going to be playing that in a little while, because I have to remind people I'm here. Well, on that note, thank you so much, Devanin, for coming onto the podcast once more. I greatly appreciate you. Any last words that you would like to share to the audience? And also don't forget to remind them of all the great things that you do, including your book, Mr. Award winner out here. We love to see it.
I would just remind everybody to mind your spiritual callings, pay attention to the highest things in this plane of existence. You're not just physical, you are a soul as well. And if you do not cater to that, you'll never be happy. You will fall out of balance, and you will be like a hamster on a wheel chasing its ass around and never getting fucking nowhere, but you will be perpetually exhausted. Nothing sadder than these tired ass 20-something-year-olds running around here talking about how sad, depressed, and tired. Bitch, there's a lot you could do different to change that. Other than that, support Slaytor's Playhouse, Sebastian Adams, the Soliloquy podcast, and all of that. Can continue to bless this man, this servant of light here, in his good work. My website is sexdrugsandjesus.com. The podcast, the books, all that shit's there. My lingerie line is DownUnder I'm going to be starting teaching magic and different spells and defense things like that in the next month or two. And so we'll be promoting that as well.
Yes, love to see it. Well, again, thank you so much, Devanin. To the audience out there, thank you all so much for listening to the Soliloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. Just in case no one else told you this today, you are beautiful, you are worthy of happiness and joy, you are enough and then some. You may not live up to the expectations of others, but that is okay. You are only required to walk in your own shoes. May each day you live lead you towards abundance. With that said, love you all and see you next episode. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the Soliloquy podcast, where we step out and speak on sexuality. You can subscribe to the podcast through your favorite podcasting app and find us on the web at www.soliloquy.com. That's www.HEAUXLILOQUY.com. Share the podcast with your friends and join the conversation.